Welcome back, folks. We're finally back on our Oldsmobile. So when we left off, there were two things going on. I wanted to verify that I was degreeing the camshaft properly per Bernard Mondello's recommendation in his cam card. I was a little confused because when I do a regular comp cam in 440s, Chevys, Fords, they want you to do it a little bit different. But Bernard actually makes it super duper easy. And I checked with Bernard to verify, and he said, Darren, you nailed it. You're spot on. That's exactly how I wanted you to do it. And sounds like we got it almost within, I think it's within 0.7 degrees. So basically, after talking to Bernard, we found our true top dead center on the piston. Verified it over and over and over. This is so easy. So after you verify that, you're on your top dead center, and he highlights this number right here. See where it says 8.3 degrees? That is, I believe, before intake opens. You come up 50 right here. So you'll turn the crank from 0 to where you get up to 50 degrees on your plunger right here on the intake. As it comes up, he wants it to be at 8.3 degrees intake open. And if you look on I'm actually at like 9. I don't know if the camera shows it, but I did this over and over and over and over, and I ended up at 9, so I would be within 0.7 degrees, which I'm going to say is pretty darn close. Again, any of you Oldsmobile guys, let me know your thoughts on this. I think this is a much better way. We're going to find out, but this is a much better way, and the way Bernard calculated it, man, I really like this. It'd be nice if my Mopars and Chevys and Fords were this easy, but I digress. But yes, we've got our cam dialed in now. Now, biggest thing we were waiting on, I had that done. I was talking to Bernard. He said, do you know what the chamber size is on those heads? I said, I really don't. I had them cleaned up. He says, it is imperative for our calculations that we hit at least 78 cc for the compression to be at 9.5546. I told the machine shop I want them actually at 77 cc's just to make sure. Each one of these chambers has been cc'd by my machine shop, and they milled. This is what's funny. They had to mill 30 thousandths off of one side, and the other side they milled 20 thousandths off. So it's not like they were off too terribly bad. They were within 10 thou. Or actually, this one was in obviously 20 thou, and this is in 30 thou. So they were about 10 thousandths difference between each side. Now our chamber sizes are all exactly the same, and we're going to be able to probably go over just a tick on our compression ratio, which will be fine. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got my oil pump pickup. I'm going to start buttoning up the bottom end of this Oldsmobile. And when you get ready to put the cover on, you'll see that I didn't take any chances. All the holes have been healy coiled. So let's get started. A little gasket cinch, kind of hold the gasket in place. Wow, does it ever make it a little easier? All right, next is the really nice thrust button that Bernard provides with his roller cams, and I really like it. So instructions are 4 to 6 thou in play clearance. I just see I have the gasket on. I just put the gasket on, and I put the cover on, and it looked like I had 3 to 4 when I measured that thickness of the Play-Doh that I put on the button. But I'm gonna put it back on now. I know I'm really close, so I'm gonna put this back on. Again, I really like this setup. Probably a lot of air in there right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of my lube on the end of this as well, a little brass button. But now that I know I'm close, I'm gonna try to thrust and set my dial indicator up and see how much thrust I have, so I can stay within his parameters. If I don't have enough, obviously you can cut this down. Probably just, I mean, it's brass, probably put on a belt sander. Just do a little bit at a time. But let's get the cover on. Don't forget your eccentric for your fuel pump, and don't forget your deflector for your timing chain. So let's get this on, and then I'm gonna try to thrust this cam. So this is not probably the most perfect, obviously, a long way from it of setting this thing up to check in play, but man, Ray Charles can see this. This is way too much in play. So if you go here, just barely, again, I'm trying not to scar any lobes, but look at that. Look at my dial indicator. That thing is going, look at that. I've got 50, 58, 57, between 57 and 58 thousandths thrust. No, that's not gonna work. So let's get this cover back off and see if we can see what's going on. All right, let's pull this off. And so I can't really, I've got too much play. So obviously I don't want to take anything off of this. And I'm thinking, well, it's either some shims that would fit inside of this, which I do not have, or can I take the cam bolt here, which has plenty of thread, and can I shim it from here with washers behind the shoulder of the cam bolt where it goes with the eccentric, and then make up that distance. Let's just try this. You guys out there, let me know what your thoughts are on how I'm trying to shim this and get the thrust down. So let me see what we got. All right, so I have a regular flat washer here, perfect size for this diameter. Now this washer is, looks like it's more than what I want, but I'm at 73. If I push this out, shim this out, if I'm too far, which I probably will be, now it will bottom out on the cup here, per se, like this. But now I can shave this down to get it where I want it to be. So let's put this on and let's see if I have no thrust at all. I know that I need to take probably, see, 72 minus the, I believe it was 58. So I can take at least that much off, and then plus between 4 and 6 to get us where our thrust needs to be, 4 and 6 back. So let's just put this on, see what happens. All right, I think the calculations, there's 5 and there's 6 right there. I think that worked. Awesome. Look at this. It's about 6 right there. Okay. I think we got our thrust set. The simple little washer. Don't forget your little slinger ring. The timing chain. As everybody knows, this thing just kind of... All right, we got everything buttoned up now. Our cam thrust is set, and our slinger ring is on. We've gone in and helicoiled all these old holes on the timing chain cover, and of course our camshaft is now degreed per Bernard Mondello's instructions. So I'm feeling really good about this. So now let's get it turned over and let's button this bottom end up. Oil pump bolts on. I'm gonna torque them to 35 foot. And if anybody want to know what oil pump I'm using the M22F. I believe this is not a high volume oil pump. I want to be specific and make everybody know it's not supposed to be a high volume oil pump. So it's a Melling M22F. Let me know what you think about that, guys. All right, I got my block pretty level right there. Now I just kind of need to see where I need to move this right here because I want it to be as true as possible. So I probably need to move my oil pump pickup up a little bit. The end seals for the pan went in beautiful. We ease them down. I'm doing my left ratchet. This ratchet. Now I'm going to go by night. This thing is going to seat, and even by. And a lot of you people are saying, "Oh, you forgot the oil pump drive shaft." Au contraire, I had to flatten this little ring out to make sure it wouldn't drop down. But this needs to go up from here, and this ring is going to keep it. If you ever had to do this in the car and pull the pan or anything else, it's going to keep it from falling down into the pan. So now, let's get in here. I need to, and just like that, I put STP in the oil pump. Now I can feel the oil pump. So our oil pump drive shaft is in, and our little ring is set. All right, it's starting to look a little bit more like an engine. So now, just let everybody know, this is the head gasket we're going to use. It's a Cometic. It's a multi-layer steel head gasket. There's the part number. And there is our thickness, compressed thickness, which is 0.27, so 27 thousandths. Bernard's already done all this. He's done all the calculating and figuring for me. He made this really easy. So let's get these head gaskets on and get these beautiful CC'd heads on. Put some head bolts in it. All right, I'm gonna put some oil on my threads here. I'm using my same oil. I'll probably be using that or the break-in oil, but just oil them down. These are the factory bolts. There it is. All right, now these lifters have been soaking, I bet, for a month. Or probably maybe even 2 months. But now we're going to put these beautiful roller lifters in that we got from Bernard Mondello Performance. So let's get these in. And let's see how well they glide in here. Now, I have seen, boy, it's really slick, of course. I have seen 2 ways that people put these in. I've seen some of them are like, no, they don't go that way. But I can't remember if it was just Mopar Joe had a set that went in like this. Let's see if it hits the side of the block. Most of them go in the other way, but I'm just seeing if they were supposed to go this way, and I'll probably get a hold of Bernard on this. But believe it or not, they don't always go in like you think. So, yeah, I think they're going to go in like this. You guys tell me. I mean, obviously you wouldn't want this gets the block, right? But I was somewhat surprised. I saw an engine. I can't remember what, if it was a Chevy, a Ford, or a Mopar, that they went in the opposite way. As everybody knows, you don't want to force these. Okay. It's kind of like what I did. I'd get oil in the bores. Trish just came back and put oil in all of the lifter bores, but you want to make sure you're not. Okay. All right, I think we just got a good tight fit, not too loose. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get the rest of these in here. All right, we're going to leave it right there for today. I have not torqued these heads down because I need to get with the customer on the studs, the head bolts that accommodate the studs for the brackets, probably for AC. I've got one on this side. I'm thinking it's for the alternator, but you guys correct me if I'm wrong, or perhaps it's for power steering. But the way I have it now, I think, if I remember correctly, on the Oldsmobiles, the AC is usually on the passenger side. So I've just got them here now. I'm gonna let the customer watch the video and he'll tell me where those two go and where this one here goes. A lot accomplished today. So the camshaft is now dialed in. It's degreed per Bernard's cam card. We've got our thrust set on our cam. Got our timing chain gear in. We've got our oil pump, our milling oil pump installed. We've got our pan installed. And then now what we're gonna start doing, once I find out about the studs and I torque the heads on, then you're gonna see in the next video, we're gonna start setting up the valve train, because obviously we have a roller cam here. And we're gonna have a custom push rod length. And then of course, the customer has ordered a really trick set of roller rockers, and we want to make sure that they're all set up correctly and shim correctly, what needs to happen to go up top. So a lot's going to go into the valve train on this engine. So, hey, Oldsmobile friends, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about this build. I want to mention, we did, before the YouTube channel, go over to our Facebook page. It's called Muscle Car Repair Service. And I did that years before I had a YouTube channel. So go to Facebook, look up Muscle Car Repair Service, and you're gonna see all kinds of cars. And specifically, my good friend Joe Cardinal has a 1970 Oldsmobile 442 convertible, just like the car that this engine's going into. Joe's car is a time capsule. It's a beautiful yellow color. And when he brought it to us, I said, oh yeah, who restored it? He said, it's never been restored. And I'm like, whoa, it's just beautiful. We built a really kick-ass 455. And to be honest with you, it was a flat tappet cam that was, we had one specifically custom ground for that car. And then we did the same exact things with the heads on his engine. And of course we used a good set of pistons. I think they were very similar to these. And that car, for as heavy as it is, it ran phenomenal. So Joe, if you're watching, my man, I hope you're getting something out of this. And tell me your thoughts on your 442, where your studs went. I know this customer's going to probably know pretty well. He's going to tell me, but share with us where yours went. Go in the comments on this video. So if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe our channel. And I hope everybody has a good weekend. Thanks, everybody.